not dissipated its resources in setting up smithereens of other institutions. It has continued to develop that original vision, that original concept. We must, in all our undertakings, concentrate on a particular vision in whatever we're doing. And that is why, like somebody said here, this school is excelling.
One of the graduates shared her experience as a student of the CBEC International School.
My experience in the pursuit of education in CBEC has been a very memorable one. Going through the process of being molded into a shape of a world changer is indeed marked by challenges. Challenges that are sometimes daunting for young people of my age. As the exams came closer, and being pioneer students, we had very tedious yet excitingly adventurous moments as we pushed through to make sure that we bring glory to our school, our parents, and most of all ourselves.
It is one of the latest schools in the Gambia's education field, but CBEC International has carved out a new and exciting future for prospective students aiming to attain high-quality education. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
You can follow our stories on the GRTS programs on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories right after this break.
On GRTS. From hard news.
I want to direct this question to the FAO.
The Human Interest Weekend Spectrum is the program that spices up your weekend with news, breaking events in and outside the Gambia. Meet the people who inspire others to think and change the world.
These culminated experiences were able to show anybody in New York that I'm somebody who's tough and I'm able to survive and carry out the work that I'm given. So it was a process, a tough one, but all in all, as I said, with the grace of Allah and with the support of parents and with the confidence of coming from a small country like Gambia and having a lot to prove.
Focus should be in strengthening families to ensure that they keep their children and also vulnerable families.
At this time on GRTS.
Welcome back. South Sudan, the world's youngest independent state, is celebrating its first independence anniversary against the backdrop of a looming humanitarian catastrophe in the country. Thousands of celebrants watched as the country's military led a national parade in the capital, Juba. President Salva Kiir hailed his fellow citizens for the successful liberation of their land, but added South Sudan still remains economically fragile. We have more in this report.
On Monday, South Sudan marked its first year of independence. A military parade and official speeches were planned for the celebrations as the world's youngest country showed its unity. Crowds came out to attend the celebrations and listen to the president speak. Salva Kiir praised the liberation of the South Sudanese people but said that it was an ongoing process and that they were still not economically independent. Despite the festive atmosphere, the country is facing a very serious humanitarian crisis. Since South Sudan's independence, hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced and are now living in refugee camps. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Desmond Tutu condemned the humanitarian situation.
Peace, 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 peace. That's all we want. I mean, that's all that these dear people want, and that and it is possible.
But peace is difficult to imagine as fighting continues in South Kordofan and Blue Nile State along the border between the two countries. The Sudanese army and the military branch of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement are fighting over disputed borders along oil-rich regions. There is widespread malnutrition in this refugee camp located in Blue Nile State. 120,000 people have already fled to South Sudan to escape fighting and reach other camps. I lost one of my children and all of my cattle. My two sisters were arrested by the army. Life is very hard. On top of this massive influx of refugees, South Sudan is also facing a serious economic crisis. Juba shut down oil production in order to prevent Khartoum from exploiting it without paying taxes. Now, in addition to the conflict, the country has a serious lack of petrol.
The International Police Organization has opened a new regional branch in Ivory Coast. The Abidjan office of Interpol opened at the time of mounting security problems in the West Africa region. The office is expected to have security personnel from the 15 ECOWAS member states and Mauritania. We have more on that in this report.
Alongside the blue and white of Interpol. The regional office of the International Police was inaugurated in Abidjan on Saturday. It's the second start to this West African office that opened in 1994. Today, more than ever, West Africa faces many security challenges.
The
Trafficking of arms, of drugs, of people, and terrorism. I am convinced that this new regional office here in Abidjan will play an important role in overcoming these challenges.
The office oversees 16 countries. This includes 15 ECOWAS members and Mauritania. Arms proliferation in these countries is often the root cause of instability and criminal activity.
We are a country that has just come out of a crisis where there was a circulation of arms in our neighboring countries, such as Liberia and Sierra Leone, who had about 15 years of war with arms proliferation in the area.
These offices are well equipped to soon welcome police and custom officers from all over the region. The fight against criminal activity is based above all on cooperation, but also on special training provided by Interpol.
We have a series of trainings in cybercrimes, in terrorism, car theft, and also in drugs and all sorts of crimes.
The Interpol office in Abidjan will play an important role in the coming months. It will be one of the first in the world to be equipped with an information system that allows for identification of illegal arms.
The Arab League and United Nations emissary to Syria has held talks with embattled Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad in Damascus. Kofi Annan told reporters he has obtained commitment from President Assad to end the violence in Syria. Despite those talks, Syrian military columns have been active in Homs, where they continued pounding neighborhoods controlled by Free Syrian Army fighters. Let's look at this report for more on that.
2 days after having acknowledged in an interview he gave to the French daily Le Monde that his 6-point plan for Syria had failed, Kofi Annan arrived in Damascus on Sunday to revive it. Following an encounter with Bashar al-Assad, the UN and Arab League negotiator said he obtained a commitment from the Syrian government to implement the plan better than before.
We discussed the need to end the violence and ways and means of doing so. We agreed an approach which we would also share with which I will share with the armed opposition.
Kofi Annan did not reveal what the approach was. However, while he was meeting with Assad, the regime's forces were involved in an all-out assault on the town of Homs, in yet another reversal of this mission impossible. Far from withdrawing his tanks, allowing humanitarian aid to reach the towns in need, or letting journalists travel in accordance with the Annan plan, the Syrian president reminded the mediator of his position.
The president shouldn't run away from challenge, and we have national challenge now in Syria. So the president shouldn't escape the situation.
Criticized by the opposition, which is demanding binding resolutions, Kofi Annan is to travel to Iran, which he wants to pull into the discussions over Syria, a move which can only be backed by Russia. Vladimir Putin reaffirmed his willingness to see a peaceful political solution to the crisis and rejected all external interference by force.
We'll now take our second break.
It's traditional that your national GSM provider, Gamcell, takes many of its valuable customers to Mecca each year. This year again, Gamcell will offer 10 more of its valuable customers a complete Hajj package in a draw to be held live on GRTS television. Yes, your Hajj is possible by simply loading $50 scratch card or Nopal. You can win not only a return ticket to Mecca, but also $1,000 travel allowance, food and accommodation in Medina and Mecca. Remember, the more you load $50 scratch card on Opal, the more you increase your winning chance.